My name is William Bryan Rich, or Bill Rich, or Big Bill Rich. This is my painting here in acrylic. I've titled it The Endless. I started getting into art and painting about midway through my life, and more into it the last 15 or so years. And I practice a couple different variations of what I call expressionism. I do paintings where I'm depicting a story of some kind, like maybe a guy in a motorcycle going through the desert, or a horse going through something along those lines, and they sell pretty good. And then sometimes I do paintings where I just let my subconscious take over. I'll throw a record on, I'll have a couple of cocktails, and then I just throw it down, and I just throw the paint on there, and I just go at it, and whatever comes up, comes up, even though I do have a basic idea of what's going on. And that's how this one is. This one actually started out as the former type of painting. It was actually a whale, and I called it after the breach, and this was like 5-6 years ago. And then it went in the closet. I pulled it out later and I said, well, this is not doing any favors to my brother in the whale kingdom. So I said, I'm just gonna do something else with it. And that's what this became. And basically I titled it The Endless because this is at a time where with all the social media and everything, you get all sides of it, like the endless rhetoric of politics and religion and everything else that just wears on you. And there's a constant violence, constant wars, and all that, and it's endless, and it's endless. And I just said, I want to do something that speaks to that one, and that, in a way, is what I think this does. And it's almost a woman in an almost ecstasy type of a position here, done very expressionist. So it looks like she's underwater and she's hiding from the world, and she's just getting away from all the endlessness. And this was acrylics, and I didn't use any paintbrushes on this one. I used a weapon of mass destruction known as a spork, right? Next to the chopstick, the most useless utensil out there for eating, but I would get them if I went to a Chinese place. And so I have a bunch of them, so I used them on this painting, as you can see from the different lines on here. And also, when I'm squeezing the tube on this, a lot of times from previous paintings, the top of the tube would have paint on it that would just dry on top, and you just peel it off, and I said, wow, these are wonderful. What can I use these for? I don't want to throw them out. So I just stuck them on the painting, and I just worked around them, and it just turned out to be the woman, and then I just squeezed the hair and everything else on there. And this was my vision of how I was feeling. So I'm a great American gun violence survivor and thriver. And so a lot of times when I paint, it's just to get rid of the pressure that comes from that. And you mix that up with all the things that are going on. What came out was this. And there's a lot of different ways you can look at it. I don't want to be obvious about things, of course, because it's art. And I did like the colors of it, because at the end of the day, even though I'm just, the endless is, maybe negative, but the blue is actually a color that you feel good. You feel good when you're done looking at it, maybe, and I guess that's what this painting's all about. Thank you.